Welcome, I'm David Geiger. Dicamba has been used for the last 50 years, but mostly on corn or roadside projects. But there's a concern this year that it could have a big impact on Iowa crops.
Since its introduction, there have been situations with off-target movement, but this year is by far the most severe it's ever been.
Bob Hartzler, an agronomy professor at Iowa State University, specializes in weeds and says soybeans are sensitive to dicamba, and the chemical can volatilize in the environment, meaning applicators can do everything correctly in terms of keeping the product where it's supposed to go, but still it can move around. This is the fourth year of dicamba-ready soybeans, and there have been isolated cases of dicamba movements in the past, causing lawsuits. But this year is a different scenario. Hartzler thinks a condition that comes from the volatile nature of dicamba called atmospheric loading is more prominent this year because of weather. There hasn't been as much rainfall after peak application season, and rain helps disperse the chemical into the soil where it is less likely to volatilize. Another issue could be a quick planting season. With both corn and soybeans growing faster, there were incidences of fields getting sprayed at the same time.
Extension area agronomists and also commercial agronomists out there, they'll tell you that nearly every non-dicamba resistant soybean field is showing injury, and in many, if not most of the fields, the injury is uniform from fence row to fence row. And that's just not what we've observed in the past.
3 registrations of dicamba have been revoked by the 9th District Court of Appeals, who ruled with a coalition of environmental groups, including the Center for Food Safety, saying there was an absence of substantial evidence to support the EPA's decision to register dicamba products, saying it failed 2 requirements specifically. 1, that there was satisfactory data submitted, and 2, it will not significantly increase the risk of any unreasonable adverse effect on the environment. The Environmental Protection Agency says farmers are allowed to spray those products until the end of July. Markets are starting the week off in the negative with lots of weather influences. Our market analyst Jamie Kawaki has the details.
Kind of a surprising trade starting the week off. Lots of red ink. We did see the monthly velocity report on Friday. It didn't really have any big surprises at all, and the market just really focused its attention right back on weather. The 10-day weather outlook and also the 16-day weather outlook turned wetter over the weekend and is really spurring some long liquidation of beans, and also too the spec money that came in on corn the last week or so of the heat being flushed back out as well. China did buy a ridiculous amount of corn last week, about 765,000 tons. Over to the meat markets, feeders trading a little bit better with the sharply lower corn contracts. Feeders do look really, really overpriced here, and looking for maybe a short-term correction back to the bottom side if the corn market can stabilize this week. Over to the hogs, a mixed bag here. July a little bit firmer, deferred contracts a little bit weaker. We did have a nice trade late last week and kind of flipped the charts over to the bullish side on some weekly reversal charts.
The Colfax Sheep and Goat Auction on Saturday saw a sale of 791 head of sheep. Feeder lambs fetched the day's average price of $2.14 per pound, while fed lambs averaged $1.38 per pound. There were 177 head of goats at the auction, which saw a high average price ranging from $167 to $470 per head. And that's all I have for the Agribusiness Report today. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again next time.